Hi there, Tamara Dorsch, your Sacramento real estate professional and your Sacramento real estate professor. And today we're going to talk about pools. Here I am on almost the last day of July. It's hot in Sacramento. And so pools are something that come up. But I want to be fair. And this is applying to both buyers and sellers. Okay. So we're going to look at the pros of a pool and the cons of a pool. And then I'm going to clear up a pool myth that has been circulating for years in the real estate industry. Okay, so first the pros of having a pool. I think that's pretty obvious. Sacramento has hot summers. Pools are great for entertaining. They're great for family fun. High-end homes that are above 500,000, they tend to get a better ROI. I don't have the answer for why they get a better return on investment, but just statistically speaking, they do. So that's something to keep in mind. The cons of a pool, and I did some research here, so I'm going to be peeking at my notes. It's about the average for the maintenance. You know, when they come and they test the water and they put all the chlorine or whatever they're putting in it, the sea salt, it runs in Sacramento County between $120 and $220 a month. The added electricity runs between $30 and $80 a month, gearing towards the higher end if you have a heated pool. Okay, it's more electricity. Resurfacing a pool. This is another thing that comes up. I just sold a house that had, a pool that was very, very old in it. So did it look terrible and all beat up? No. But did it need resurfacing? Yeah. So if you want to go with the new, fun, more expensive, luxurious look of the Pebble resurfacing, that'll run you about $8,000, upwards of $8,000. Like that's the minimum, and they go up to, $15,000, I think. Just a plaster resurfacing is about $6,000. The parts to replace over the life of the pool, it ends up probably several $1,000s over the life of the pool. That's if you have a pump go out, if you have, one of the major components. But that's not typical, and hopefully those come with some sort of a warranty. Now, the part that I wanted to talk about that is a big misconception or a myth in the real estate world is, do you have to have a fence around a pool? And so the answer is no. If you have a pool and you are selling your Sacramento home, you do not need to have a fence around it. Here's what the appraiser will say, and here's what California real estate law says, is that if one to two of the safety features, the recommended safety features, are not in place, and I'll just rattle those off in a minute, then it must be disclosed that there's no safety features in place. Okay? So a fence, a mesh cover, an approved cover that goes over it, like that, they're very tight so someone couldn't just go in and then fall through. And there's an exit alarm. There's a few different things that I don't really see. You usually just see either a cover or a fence. So if one or two of those are not with the property, then it just has to be disclosed. That's all it means. If you're selling a house with a pool, you don't have to put a fence up before you sell it. You just have to disclose that there are no safety features included with the pool. That's it. Easy breezy. Now, as a property management professor of many years, I can tell you that you do not want to rent a home in Sacramento with a pool without a fence. My advice with my investor clients over the years has always been, don't buy a home with a pool if you're going to rent it. It's just too much of a liability, because even if you have a fence, somebody could leave the gate unlocked, someone could climb over the fence. It's just a big liability risk. It's a potential lawsuit. So if you're buying a property in Sacramento County or El Dorado or Placer or wherever, and you're thinking of renting the property, I would avoid properties with pools, because you're getting your insurance, that's going to go way up, and you're also just increasing the possibility of you getting caught in a lawsuit. So not a good idea to have a pool on a property if you are buying or purchasing a property for rental. But if you're purchasing a property for yourself, for your home, for your family, you're buying a property, pools are great. They can add value. But again, a lot of it depends on the condition, how well it's been maintained, what its current needs are. Does it need to be resurfaced, right? So those things can make it not a good deal if you're buying a home or if you're selling a home. But if you're selling a home and you have a pool and it's been well cared for, it probably will add a little bit up to the price. There are some people I just talked about investors, but besides investors, there are some families that just don't want a pool. And there are some families that would only buy a pool if there was a fence involved, right? So it's really, really on a case by case basis. It depends on what area you're in, what the turnover in your area has been recently, what the current competition is for properties if you're selling a home. So there's a lot of things to work out, and this is where a good real estate agent will really, really come in handy. So if you'll click on the link below, you will see a link to my seller free home webinar that you can watch, and I answer a lot of the questions. But if you want to talk specifically about pools or about possibly listing your home or buying a home, you can set up on the Zoom link below. You can set up a time, go right to my calendar, and we can have a chit chat over the phone. I find it very, very helpful, especially for people who aren't thinking about selling like maybe till next year or maybe 6 months, or people who are wanting to buy but they just have no idea where to begin. They haven't even talked to a lender yet, and it's a little less confrontational. It's a little less like, oh, am I committed? It's absolutely non-committal. It's absolutely non-pressure, non-sales. It's getting on a phone call with me or on a Zoom call where we can talk like this. And if you have a Zoom call link and you can show me around your house that way, I can also give you some additional insight. So it's an easy way for you to start the ball rolling, even if that ball is not going to start rolling for another year or so. I'm always here and happy to answer your questions about real estate in Sacramento. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.